Welcome to the Killer Countdown. Each episode, two horror fans are pitted in a head-to-head countdown of the greatest horror films of all time. The two will collaboratively create an official top 7 countdown for that week's topic. Join the Killer Countdown if you dare. I am your host. I'm Casey Kelderman.
I am Blake Ginithan.
And this is a new show that we're bringing to the Backlot 605 network. We're a little nervous because we don't know where we're going with this yet, but we just want to talk horror.
Yeah, we do. We both love horror, and this is our chance to geek out on it.
Exactly. And we are joined with co-founder of Backlot 605, Mr. Brian Mensing.
Call me producer. I don't know.
Mr. No Microphone. Brian.
Yeah, well, he's got one. He just doesn't feel like using it.
Way over here.
There we go.
Yeah.
He's gonna chime in whenever he.
I really should have plugged in headphones.
Yeah. So basically, how this is gonna work? This is called the Killer Countdown. So what we're gonna do? So far, we're just thinking maybe once a month we'll kind of do this to nerd out over horror movies for a little while. But basically, what this is if you guys have ever watched the podcast, or not watched, listened to the podcast called Screen Drafts. Blake actually introduced me to this.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and after he introduced me, I have been trying to catch up as fast as I can, and I love the concept of that. And so this is going to be a very similar one, but with a twist.
We're ripping off with love. We want you to listen to our podcast, but we do recommend you check them out because it's a very good podcast.
They're the Halloween to our Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Or the Black Christmas to the Friday the 13th.
There you go. So how this is going to...
Black Christmas.
What's that?
Which Black Christmas?
The original.
The good one.
The good one.
So how this is going to work, we are going to be doing, instead of like a top 10 or ranking all of them, we're going to do only a top 7. So the reason we're doing 7 is because there's only 2 of us playing this, and that means that one person will have 4 picks, the other person will have 3. So how this will work is Brian has something that we'll choose who gets to pick their order. But anyway, the order is 7, 6, 4, and 2.
Right. So one person gets more picks, but the other person who gets less picks gets to choose the number 1 movie on the top. Who gets to define the list?
So they get the top pick, the 3rd pick, and the 5th pick.
Yep. So you can choose quantity or you can choose quality.
Game of strategy here. So Brian, how does this thing work that you're having fun?
Like I told you before, you're sitting here going, how do we choose who gets to go first? And everybody says there's an app for that.
Right. On Screen Drafts, they basically do a trivia question, and we're going to try and keep our show as original as possible with some integrity, while keeping the core of their game intact as well. So we're going to try something different today. I take it.
All you basically need to do, each one of you put your finger on there.
And that's how it's going to work? Okay. We will.
Yeah,
okay.
we're going to do the game later.
Yes, we'll finish the rules here.
I think we should go through the rules again later on.
At the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before that, we do want to do a little bit of introductions. Yeah. What we've watched recently, how we got into horror, stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm going to let Blake kick it off.
Oh, okay.
Because you got to watch a little movie before anyone else in the Backlot crew.
We should probably talk about how we got into horror and why we love it. That's
fine.
That should be the first thing.
Screw my segue. Fuck
it.
Go ahead. Yeah,
it makes more sense.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I actually do not have a definitive answer as to why I got into horror, why I love horror. I have specific memories. A lot of it is like staying up late and finding a channel with a movie I shouldn't be watching, which I think is what a lot of people. That happens to a lot of people. So I just remember like specific scenes or images in my head of being a kid, and one of them was one of the Friday the 13th. I'm sorry, I get these confused. The Nightmare on Elm Street series, where I believe it's like a nurse or something in a hospital gets attacked by a bunch of goons, and that just her being ravaged.
Yeah, that's Nightmare Part 4 or 5.
I remember turning it on and like that haunting me for years when I was a kid. And then just other various moments throughout my childhood. But then I met a friend online. That sounds really weird, but I met someone online
That's
who.
how we met.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I used to post on this message board.
That's the weird part.
Yeah, this movie. There used to be this. Well, there is a site called Joe Blow Movie Emporium, and they used to have this message board where I'm still friends with a lot of these people, which is really great, and we still talk movies and stuff. But I met this guy on there. He's Canadian, and he's a huge film fan, and he ended up loving horror, and he'd always recommend me these horror movies, and we just got into it like that, and that's another thing that really where I really found a love of horror. And then the final thing that I can off the top of my head that I can really think about is I have another friend who actually lives really close to here. Him and I would have these things called we still have them. They're called bad movie nights, and we would just go to Hollywood Video when that was open. Yeah, I know. R.I.P. And we'd find like the worst DVD covers, and we'd watch 3, 4, 5 movies in a day, and we'd binge these really really bad horror movies, and we would it was almost like a Mystery Science 3 to 3000 thing where we would
sit and riff on
right
them.
Right, and so that was another reason, and my love of horror just kind of went from there. So
Yeah, I guess for me, I don't really have a definitive answer
yeah,
either.
it's weird.
I think to where to start it off for me is one of the first like horror movies that like sparked my interest or curiosity was just the cover of the TV movie It. That cover, it scared me. I never wanted to watch it. I might have watched the opening scene with Georgie, and that might have been it for that. But yeah, that cover terrified me. I hated clowns then. I hate clowns now, so that's kind of where it started. But then into like my childhood and early teens, like I never watched any horror movies. My parents wouldn't let me watch them. During that time, it was mostly comedies, and
they were responsible parents.
They were,
yeah.
Except they let me watch South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut when I was like 10.
It's because they thought it was a cartoon.
No, they knew what South Park was.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I had responsible parents too. Well, my mom was, but you bring up an interesting point about covers because it just made me think of another thing that I really that like stems from my childhood was when I went to rent videos as a child. Like the horror section was like the forbidden zone. You walk through there, and I mean, I was a child in the 80s and the early 90s, and walking through the horror section, you'd see all these amazing covers. This absolutely amazing cover art. And I just remember walking through the aisles and being like absolutely terrified to flip over the back and see monsters and stuff on the back. And it almost became like I was in a horror movie where I was in a scene where like the tension was building because I was going to flip over a VHS.
And you didn't know what was on the other side.
No, I didn't. And little did I know that you'd rent these movies and they were absolutely garbage. Some of them were garbage. Yeah.
The best part of the movie is the cover art for the VHS.
I think that was another thing that where I fell in love with horror movies is because the cover art was so good. Because they're trying to sell a movie, and then you'd figure out that they spent more on the cover art than they actually spent on making the movie itself.
Yeah, for me, kind of where it transitioned into watching horror movies almost religiously was towards high school, where we had movie nights, me and my friends, and they had girlfriends. I obviously didn't because I was a nerd.
Yeah, me too, man.
So they, to impress the girlfriend, you got to put on the scary movie. They cuddle up next to you.
That's how I got my wife, actually.
Yeah. But for me, it was just me getting engrossed in what I was watching. So some of the ones I remember that we binged the entire Nightmare on Elm Street series just one night. Just binged it all. Friday the 13th we did over a couple weekends. So yeah, that's kind of where it started. Was those two were the big series.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I went back and obviously caught up on 80 slashers after that, and since then I almost feel an obligation for me because I like to go to the movies. It feels like if there's a horror movie out, I need to go watch it. Opening weekend, be there.
Yeah.
Which sucks since I haven't seen Midsummer.
Yeah.
But,
hold on. I will say, what I forgot what I was going to say now. You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
You ruined it. Another reason why I love horror, and I just, like, now that we're talking about it, everything's coming back to me, but my birthday is October 27th. So it's really close to Halloween, which I love Halloween, which I don't do enough to dress up and dress my house and go to a zombie walk, which I've pledged to do for the past like 7 or 8 years.
That's why I'm glad I own a house, because I'm going to fucking all
yeah,
out.
I think I'm going to for my movie party that I'm hosting this year. But I for the past like 7 or 8 years, I've taken like the week of Halloween off, and I just binge horror movies. Like that's what I do, and so that's another thing that really like fuels my love for this genre.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that. Halloween is my Christmas.
Yeah, it absolutely
it's
is.
the best.
Like, I feel bad for my wife because when October 1st hits, she's like, "We're watching a movie," and I'm like, "It's got to be horror. Like, it just has to be." Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Like, yeah.
For me, like watching, like I'll try to watch something horror every Halloween, every night of the month. But when it comes to Halloween night, it's like watching A Christmas Story on Christmas Day. You have to watch Halloween on Halloween night.
I actually watch Halloween like halfway through October. I don't know why.
Oh, I usually watch it before then too. But then
you watch it twice?
Yeah, it's like on Halloween you have to just.
For me,
if we're having a costume party, whatever, trick or treat, whatever it is.
Yeah. For me, it's the original Dawn of the Dead I throw on around that time. That's like the late masterpiece, the late month masterpiece that I watch is Dawn of the Dead. It's
that gives me an idea for a list around that time. Favorite movies to watch on Halloween.
we
might have to do.
We have so many lists to do. This might be more than a month thing.
No, that's all right. But should we jump to our recent watches? What we've seen recently?
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll let you start on this one.
Okay, so if you don't listen to the Backlot 605 podcast, have to plug it because that's what started it all.
Yeah.
We talked about cult movies, so movies that involve cults or based on cults, whatever it is. And one movie that showed up on guest Andy, the fat dude, his list was The Sacrament from Ty West, 2014, 13, one of those.
Yeah,
right around there.
there.
Anyway, it's on Shudder right now, so the day after we got done recording, I had to put it on, and this is the second Ty West movie I've seen after Cabin Fever 2, which is god-awful garbage. And
even he doesn't accept that movie.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually liked Cabin Fever 2, but
it's bad.
It's bad.
Like so bad it's good.
Yeah.
2013.
For The Sacrament.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually watching it after listening to Andy's stuff, I never realized this was based on the Jonestown massacre.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, because that is a fascinating story. And Brian, don't drink the Kool-Aid, no matter what.
Did you like it?
The Sacrament?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And,
I enjoyed the Kool-Aid.
and I drank all the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
For me, it was a fun because I love You're Next, which Ty West is in, and that just it just feels like they came up with this idea.
All those Mumblecore dudes are in that
yeah.
movie.
Yep.
And, Amy Seimetz is in it, and that whole crew. Yeah.
No, I dug it.
Isn't one of the Duplass brothers in that?
In The
You're
Sacrament?
Next?
Or is he in You're Next? I don't know.
We need producer Brian to check that.
What am I looking
You're
for?
Next.
To see if go to Your Next and see if one of the Duplass brothers is in it.
But yeah, I enjoyed The Sacrament. It is one of the best versions of when you do based on a true story, because it is straight up based on that story, but takes its liberties to tell what it wants to tell first and foremost.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great use of found footage. I enjoy found footage movies when they're done right. I like that they use that they work for Vice.
Yeah.
To make up for why they have such awesome video equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
That movie, and Ty West is really good at this. Ty West is really good at building tension throughout his movies. His other two movies, we talked about this off show, but like The Innkeepers, like there are moments in The Innkeepers where like the tension just builds to where you can't take it anymore, and he does a lot of that in The Sacrament.
What am I looking for?
A Duplass.
Yeah,
brother.
a Duplass brother.
I don't think he's.
I don't think he is either.
Yeah. Wrong mumblecore.
At least not on the main page anyway.
Yeah, wrong mumblecore crew. I really enjoyed the bad guy in that movie. The guy who ran the commune that they were at. He was in.
Oh, in The Sacrament.
Yeah, he was.
Jones is his actual last name.
He was in No Country for Old Men, I believe, as the guy who flips the coin in front of Javier Bardem. He is spooky in The Sacrament.
Oh, he is terrifying.
You can see how why people would follow him, and
that makes him so much scarier.
He is so creepy. He is so good in that movie. And then, of course, the movie, being a Ty West movie, and of course based off the Jonestown thing, ends in a complete massacre.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Massacre.
Well, I mean, everyone knows about the Jonestown massacre, but
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. If you guys haven't watched The Sacrament, check it out.
is that the only horror movie that you've watched recently?
Recently that I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
That I think of. Yeah.
So I've watched a few. Okay, so I'm a full like 2 years behind on Stranger Things. So I started watching that recently again, and because I think season 3 came out yesterday.
Came out yesterday. Yep.
This
On
is
the 4th of July.
The 4th of July, yeah.
I'm already one day behind in this,
So I'm a full season behind, so I've been catching up on season 2. So that's the last thing, and then I watched the new anthology Nightmare Cinema from a handful of directors, and I really enjoyed. Okay, so it's an anthology series set around a movie theater in Los Angeles, and there's 5 stories, but I really enjoyed. I loved the first 3 stories of this anthology, which is when I messaged you like, oh, this is really good. And then like for me, the second 2 were just absolutely terrible, which is really interesting because Andy from Fat Dudes hated the first 3 but loved the last 2. So between the 2 of us, we recommend that you watch
Watch the whole thing.
Watch the whole thing
Yeah.
because we both loved parts of it, but. The big one that I saw was the new Ari Aster joint, Midsummer.
Is that what he's going by? Just like Spike Lee?
I'm taking it from Spike, but man, I know you guys are excited to see it, so I'm not gonna say too much, but it's a wild movie. It's crazy.
No, I've heard nothing but good things. I'm disappointed in myself. I haven't watched it yet.
A buddy of mine messaged me and he said, "Man, I said what the fuck at least 30 times to myself during this movie," and I said, "Yeah, like I think I did too." So I'll just say, if you're expecting Hereditary, throw that out the door. Like it's nothing like Hereditary at all. But I'm not gonna say too much because I went into it completely blind and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So it's probably in my top 5 of the year so far.
No, I'm excited for it. Definitely gonna go watch it sometime this week.
Yeah, and it's for anyone listening, you got to see it in the theater because the sound design is bonkers. Like the bass was shaking the theater; it was so loud. So I recommend a full theater experience for this movie.
That's how I felt for Hereditary too. Like you had to watch it in the theater.
I didn't see it in theater, so
No? For me, and not saying it loses something on home video, but it's not the same experience.
Yeah.
It fully encapsulates you in an actual theater.
I think the reason why I don't go see a lot of horror movies in theaters, which is I know like very counterintuitive of what I am, but like you like at home I can stop the movie and turn some lights on or open some windows and feel like I'm not alone. But in the theater it's like I paid money, like I paid a lot of money to be here. You know, like I can't just walk out of here, so I feel like
you're engrossed in it.
Right,
I
feel like I can't leave, and so I don't go see a lot of horror movies in theaters.
So you don't like that aspect of it. That's why I like watching in the theater, because if I'm at home, I can get on my phone, I can do this and that, and like if I'm in the theater watching a horror movie, I'm stuck.
Yeah,
I have to sit there and watch whatever this is.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't see a lot of movies in theaters because I think a lot of modern day movie audiences, like they don't care.
They suck.
Yeah. They don't care about the experience.
Calling out the guy who was using his phone during Annabelle Comes Home. Fuck you.
Like if I'm in a theater with my wife and we're the ones there, like I'm gonna be like, oh, this is but for Midsummer, which I think unfortunately it's gonna bomb because
there's a little Marvel movie coming out this same time.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
See, I don't follow Marvel.
Spider-Man came out the same day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so
P.S. That's really good.
There's only one other couple in our screening, and if that's the case, I don't care if people kind of talk. But if there's a theater full of people, I want people to shut up and watch. So I don't go to a lot of movies in general. in the theater.
No. Maybe I should bring up that I saw Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah, I want to hear about Annabelle Comes Home because I am not a huge fan of the series, but I know you are.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I have mixed feelings about the Conjuring series. I still need to get this stupid article done. It will be done by the time this podcast comes out, though. So I'm ranking the entire Conjuring universe, and I don't know. There's 3 in there that I think are just god awful. You can't watch again. But then the rest, I'm like, there's always something great in each one of those, and this is one of them.
What are the 3 that you don't like?
Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah, I figured that was
the first Annabelle and
don't say
the Nun. Yeah, but the Nun is higher than those other two.
I really love the Nun.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I like the atmosphere of the Nun works. The overall look of it works. The story and the scares, I think, don't.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah, we'll argue about it sometime.
Yeah,
Argue about that sometime else. That's
Yeah,
not
I
what
know.
We're here
Anyway,
for.
Yeah.
Annabelle Comes Home, I think it is one of the most inventive movies out of the series. It also brings back the actual Warren storyline, which I think is where the Conjuring series just needs to stay within.
I'm a big fan of Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as a couple. Like they're really good together.
They're not in this movie as much as I wanted them to be, but where they fit and just.
But if they're the core of the story, and the movie kind of goes from there, then I think it would still be.
Yeah, that's where I was going to
Yeah.
segue into. It's they're always still that presence.
Yeah.
With that in mind, that they're always still there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think a lot of this works. It introduces more monsters, more creatures. And I'd rather have those than another Nun.
Do you think this is like?
And they have a werewolf.
Yeah. Do you think this is their way of like it's like a last gasp thing for them or not? Like, do you think they threw this out there as like, I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but like it sounds like the ending is bonkers. Like it sounds like the ending they kind of go with a lot of different things to see where maybe what the audience might react to and where they can go next with the series. Is that maybe what is happening?
Yeah, I would say it does because the last 30 minutes it's a haunted house.
Oh.
Each person kind of just goes to a quote unquote different attraction. It's a different monster, different room, wherever they are.
Oh, okay.
It all takes place within the Warrens' house.
Oh,
it's like
interesting.
It's like Night at the Museum, except inside the Warrens' house.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fun. It's fun.
I didn't want to see it, but now I do.
That's the thing I can say about it. It's creepy, but it's fun. It almost reminds me of like watching a Goosebumps episode, but in the best way, like good Goosebumps episodes.
Like the Jack Black movie.
I enjoyed the
That's
Jack
what I'm saying.
Black.
I enjoyed it too.
I enjoyed it.
That's good.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you guys have watched the Conjuring movies, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
And they do the werewolf, and I've been waiting for that fucking werewolf since the first.
I
Conjuring.
didn't. Yeah, I must have forgot that. I've only seen the first Conjuring once, so I did not know it was a werewolf at all.
Oh yeah. After the first Conjuring, I just went into a deep dive of like the Warrens, what they studied.
The real Warrens.
The real Warrens,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, well, where could James Wan take it next? And I saw the werewolf pop up. I'm like, oh shit, James Wan needs to do a werewolf movie. That'd be awesome.
Do you think that's gonna happen?
With him, no. He's out. He's done for now.
He's done with the series.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's on as executive.
He's off
producer.
doing his. Okay. That's what I meant. He's still gonna produce.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has somewhat of a say in what's going on.
Yeah.
But overseeing instead of directing. But
Who directed this one?
Gary Dauberman, he's been around since the first Conjuring. It's kind of
Okay.
next to James. It's his baby.
Okay, so he was like the
wrote,
Padawan.
Yeah, I think he wrote the last 2 Annabelle movies.
Okay.
And might have wrote The Nun as well, maybe?
The one with Anthony LaPaglia, I think I need to rewatch.
Annabelle Creation?
It's in Australia or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the group of girls?
Yes.
Yeah, I loved that one too.
Yeah. I didn't love it. I didn't like it. I need to rewatch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Okay.
My boy David Sandberg directed it. Lights Out, Shazam. Yeah. All right. So that's what we watched recently. I would recommend everything I've watched recently. The Sacrament and Annabelle Comes Home.
I will recommend Nightmare Cinema, and I will highly recommend Midsummer, especially in the theater. Or find someone who has a really good sound system in their home when it comes out in home video.
So far out of all this here, I've always wanted to see Midsummer, but I really want to see this Nightmare Cinema now.
It's fun. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's like a creep show.
Well, it's your typical
Anthology horror
anthology.
And Andy and I were talking a little bit on Facebook about this. It's like, I think with anthologies, you're not. I think you rarely find an anthology series where all the shorts hit, like with you.
I don't think there's one that exists.
No.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think that is because you have different directors with different visions,
Yeah.
taking on different stories.
Yeah.
So you lose the fluidity
Right. Well,
across all of it.
Right. And the thing with Nightmare Cinema is that I think the first three, and this is just me, I think the first three like really stick to like a certain. They're not all the same, but they all understand.
Same tone.
Right. And David Slade directs the fourth one, and Mick Garris, who I love both of those guys. They direct the fourth and fifth stories. They go in a different route. And what's interesting is Andy thinks that the first three missed the boat of the last two, where I think the last two missed the boat of the first three.
That's what intrigues me to want to see it.
Right, yeah. And so so we both I don't know see, like, he rates out of 5, I think. And I guess I do too. But so like he goes 2.5 for Nightmare Cinema. I'm at a 3, so I don't know where he starts his recommendation. Like, I recommend this. And like, oh, this just misses. So, like, for me, like, I recommend it. I don't know if he is quite recommending Nightmare Cinema. But what's interesting is we both like it and dislike it for the same reasons. It's just opposite.
In different segments.
Yeah. So
that makes, just hearing you say that makes me want to watch it more,
Yeah.
just to see where I fall.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not gonna, like, break down walls, and it's not gonna make top 10 lists, but it's a fun experience, and the wraparound story is BS and garbage, but
As all of them are.
yeah.
I guess I'm going on Hoopla.
Is that where it's at?
Yep.
Okay, so it's on Hoopla if anyone wants to watch it, or VOD. So
Got your library card. Get it for free.
yeah.
All right, are we ready for this?
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We haven't. I don't think we even mentioned what we're talking about on this killer countdown.
You brought it up earlier. You brought up the series.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna. Casey and I are going to collaboratively make a top 7 of the Friday the 13th series, and this is kind of what the basis of the show is. We're gonna. And I for future episodes, I would love to get like 2 other guests in here to kind of like go against each other, and you and I would.
I'm gonna full on steal their gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Unless you just want to do us for a little bit, but it'd be fun to get 2 people in who love a certain series or something, or a certain genre within the horror.
Which I think this is a good place to start,
Right?
because looking at the Friday the 13th series, I want to get both of our thoughts on it, because for me, I'm prepped. I'm ready for this. I'm wearing a Jason Voorhees t-shirt right now.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm wearing an $8 Target shirt.
So me, I love the Friday the 13th series. I think it is just a ton of fun. There's no great movie within this series, but I would say it's one of the most fun and rewatchable, at least, slasher series out there for me.
Yeah.
There is definitely a few misses, which we won't even talk about because they're not going to make the list.
Right.
I hope.
Right.
I hope.
We'll see.
Yeah. That's where I think this is going to be fun.
Okay.
Because I think you have different opinions.
Yeah.
on this series.
This whole thing stems with the fact that about 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, I have not seen. I don't know which of these movies I've seen. I feel like I've seen them all, but I want to rewatch them this year. This was the plan. I want to rewatch this entire series this year, and what ended up happening was all of the movies, at least the first 8, ended up on Hulu, which I have through. I have it free through my Spotify account. And so I was like, okay, this is happening. Like, I'm home a lot now because I have a newborn. I'm watching a lot of movies. It's just gonna happen. I'm gonna rewatch these. And so I started to rewatch them 1 through 8. Just like, I think it took me about 3 weeks to do. And then you told me that you were a big fan. So I was like, hey, we should like somehow like make like we should talk about the series in general. And then I can't remember which one of us decided we should kind of just do like where we should kind of like collaborate to make a top list of the series. But I hate this series so much. Tell
us how you truly feel.
Yeah, I started watching it and I'm like, this is really cool. Like, I'm going back to this like legendary series of movies and
watching them with fresh eyes.
Fresh eyes, yeah, like a new perspective. And it got to I think I did it wrong. it got to a point where I was watching like 2 or 3 like in a row, like days in a row, and they started to bleed together.
I think that's why it works. Because whenever I watch a Friday the 13th, I'm like, I need to watch at least 2 or 3 in a row.
Okay,
so it feels like they run together.
So here's why I think that's a bad idea. Was because when I'm gonna go pick my movies now, I really don't remember what happens in what movie.
Okay.
And so I feel like I'm doing a very bad disservice to this list already. But I have a feeling I know where the ones I like are.
To put this in perspective, we do have cards with movies written on them. Blake only. How many do you have written down?
I have
6.
I have 1, 2, 3, I have 6.
Okay, I have all 12.
There's 12 movies, so I have half the list written down.
Okay.
So
I have all of them written.
So
down.
if I have to, I might have to actually like ad lib or like write one down in the middle of. So Casey and I both have note cards with the names of the movies written on them, and when we figure out who goes first. We're gonna lay a card down, and then we'll present that movie and explain why we like it. I might not be able to because I forgot what happens in all.
Brian, have we fucked up the rules entirely already? Do we need to explain them one more time?
No.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes.
Do we need to explain this knife that is sitting in the middle of this table?
I think we need to go
That's
through
your veto.
I think we need to go through it one more time.
Yeah. We'll briefly go through it here.
So Casey and I are going to create a top 7 list of what we think are the best movies in this series. But since there's 7 movies, one person gets to pick more. The person who gets to pick more is going to pick 7, 6, 4, and 2. And the person who picks less is going to get the top pick. So they're going to pick 5, 3, and 1. Whoever goes first gets to obviously pick 7 and 6. If one person has an issue with a movie, whether they don't like the movie in the list at all, or if they want it higher, they can slash the pick out.
Yeah.
We have a fake
There
knife.
you go.
I like that.
We have a fake knife here, and we're gonna figure out how we actually present
a prop knife
we have a
from
prop
Rob
knife.
Zombie's Halloween.
Oh man,
Because that's all they had at Halloween City or whatever,
Oh.
Party City.
this is definitely a prop. Yeah.
We should get a real knife.
Yeah, we should.
No.
No, we
I don't
shouldn't.
No?
trust you.
Okay.
Oh. So if the person doesn't like it, they can veto the movie off that spot. However,
Slash it out of the
so
spot.
is the movie gone for good? Should the movie be gone for good, or can it come back?
No, I think it can come back.
It can come back.
We each get one
We
slash,
each get one slash.
one stab
One stab,
per episode.
but the movie can come back, and
Yes.
so therefore, you might not want to use your veto or your slash so high because it might play them something
Yeah.
later.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
This is going to be interesting.
I'd like to point out something really quick for your defense here, for everything getting muddled if you watch too many movies close together. Him getting one of the Child's Play kills wrong for the wrong movie.
Which one did you get wrong?
Which one did I say?
You put...
Oh, the
you put
ruler killer.
The ruler kill in
Yeah.
Child's Play 3 when it was the teacher in Child's Play 2.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't seen 3 in forever. I think 3 is just boring.
Yeah, being the horror connoisseur that you
I
are.
know. I messed up. I
I knew
failed.
that off the top of my head.
I have failed.
You did fail.
All right, let's get this shit started. I'm excited.
We got to figure out how we're going to do.
All right.
Brian's
So
got his
Brian,
fancy.
so
There's an act for
Brian, get your mic up to your mouth and explain how this is going to work. Yeah, there you go.
That was disturbing.
That should be the opening of the show
Yeah.
right there.
So
Okay,
Brian is
so-
going to be here to be our moderator, keep it fair, keep us from throwing fists, stabbing each other with this rubber
With
knife.
the fake knife.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the short version is put your finger on the phone.
Very exciting for
There you
podcast,
go.
obviously.
Yeah.
I get to go
Who
first.
Who
huh?
won?
Blake won.
Blake won.
Okay, Okay, so since I do not like this series,
So okay, here's my question. You won. Do you want to go first, or do you want Casey to go first?
okay, so
do you think
that's
about
what I was going to explain. Okay, so since I'm not a fan of this series, and I feel like Casey has more of his heart in this, I feel like I'm going to go first, and I'm going to let you have the number 1 pick, and that way you can.
That's being nice. Thank you.
Yeah, and
That's
that
not
because
You literally have a knife. You're supposed to stab him in the back.
You hate this series.
that
Come
might
on.
be
You
that
need
might
to
be that might be part of my game plan.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. He's telling you he's.
I
playing
know.
nice.
This is going to be fun. So you're going to kick it off.
Yeah, I am.
So Blake will have the
So-
the more picks. He will
Yeah,
have
I'm
4
gonna-
of them.
I'm gonna have-
7, 6, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
I will have
Yeah.
5, 3, and number 1.
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
I have to be right now.
Well, I mean, I can give it to you. Like,
Yes, because I have a definitive number 1.
You have it. So okay. Well, now that I think about that, so do I.
Too late. You already said it, right, Brian? Right?
Okay. All right. I won't be that guy.
Oh, you totally need to be that guy. This is Casey.
But then I have so many that I love that I need to have at least 4 of mine on here. Though.
You're totally going to edit the argument out.
No. I'll keep this in.
All right.
All right, let's start this off.
Okay. So I want to apologize to the audience because I honestly don't remember what kills her in what movie, and
I'll help you out.
okay. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go my first with my number 7 pick. Should I hand it to Brian and Brian read it, or how should I do this?
I don't know. It depends on. I'd say we just read our own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless Brian's going to be here every week.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. So for the first one, we'll just read it out.
We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
This is every month.
Every month, whatever. Every episode. There we go.
I'm gonna test Casey's resolve.
Right away. Huh?
With my first one.
Shit, I shouldn't have.
No, I don't want to do that one.
By the way, I want to mention this because you can't see it if you're listening to this podcast. My shirt just does say Jason Lives on it, which is a title of one of the movies. So that.
Are you literally trying to give away your hand?
No.
Knock it off, Casey.
I'm explaining it for the audience in case this is something he wants to play into his list.
Okay, I'm gonna play this one because because we talked about it just before we started recording. I think this one has like one of the best scores
number 7.
Number 7. I'm going with The New Blood. Number 7.
Part 7.
Based solely on the fact that I think it has an absolutely insanely good main theme, which would totally caught me off guard because most of them are pretty, horror or whatever, but this one is really it's really good. So I am picking my number 7 with number 7, based solely on the fact that it has a really good score. And if Casey wants to jibber jabber about number 7,
He's over there just clicking.
since he knows more about it than I do.
Yeah. Number 7, The New Blood. Jason versus Carrie, I like to call this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The telekinesis one?
Yeah, you didn't even know which one it is. Yes. This is right after Jason is sent to the bottom of the lake with the chain wrapped around his neck.
Man, this is my number 1, actually.
This is
I
one of
screwed this up big time. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm scared. Don't tease me like that. Yeah, I love this movie. I'm glad it's on here.
This is the one where it opens where the girl thinks she kills her dad because she
has telekinesis.
Yeah.
And for me, what makes this movie work is that Jason has a equal where none of the other ones do. I mean, Tommy Jarvis does his own thing in parts 4 and 6 really well, but then you give someone else that actually is superpowered and supernatural.
Yeah.
I think it gives Jason a really good foil.
Yeah.
Teenagers are all disposable and all this. I don't give a shit about the
except
teenagers.
yeah.
I think we'll talk about some of the teenagers when we get to some of the better ones or worse ones. We'll see.
Yeah. Well.
But I enjoy The New Blood. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it here. I'll leave it at number 7. I think it's fitting.
Okay.
It is one of my favorites, but I have other ones I need higher.
Yeah.
To not move this one.
I gotta think now.
This has one of my favorite Jasons. Just like the look of him, the chain, the hat, like his mask is starting to decay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the most iconic Jasons. Towards the end of the movie, when you have Jason burst through the stairs, it's a great little piece.
Okay.
Do you have any?
No, I don't.
They're all blending together.
They really do, and I can't say if that's bad on the series for not being really original, or if it's just all blend together for me. But yeah, and I'm not gonna rewatch the series ever again. So
no.
Okay, then Blake, how about number 6?
With number 6, I'm actually gonna go.
Can I say one thing about Part 7?
Absolutely.
This is the first Kane Hodder one.
Oh,
which
okay.
might be the best Jason.
Okay.
Only guy to play him multiple
he's
times.
certainly the most famous Jason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this is his first foray into playing Jason.
Okay.
He does it to perfection. He is probably my favorite Jason.
Okay.
He's the only Jason.
Is he the one who walks slower?
Yeah.
Because
he gives Jason just this hulking big personality.
He's a mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
This is also second movie Zombie Jason, which is, I think, where the series much improves.
Look at Casey go.
Yeah, but I'm scared of where you're going after this.
I'm going, man.
All right, number 7, The New Blood.
All right. In the number 6 spots, I'm gonna go with Jason Takes Manhattan, which this is the one I've seen the most because I watched it when I was young, and I watched it, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago, and obviously I watched it, a month ago or so ago, but it's like, I think it's the longest one. I think it's almost 2 hours long, which I really got really bored with it, but there's so many interesting like pieces in the movie that I found really interesting. One, Casey and I were talking through messaging one night where there's a really silly boxing scene on top of a rooftop.
Yes.
Just punches the guy's head off.
Yeah, which I thought when it's
the same actor is in he's in Return of the Living Dead, right? Is that the same guy?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
No?
pretty sure.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Pretty sure it is.
So there's a scene on top of Jason. I should explain what this one's about. So Jason Takes Manhattan is a group of high school students, original, right? Go on like a cruise or a ship, setting sail for I forget where, but Jason gets on board and now starts killing them all. But they end up going to Manhattan for the last part of the movie, where Jason actually taking Manhattan gets its name from. And they end up on this building where this guy who was boxing earlier is doing all these juke and jives, and I think he's punching Jason for it feels like 5 minutes, but I know it's a lot shorter. And then Jason kind of like this guy tires out, and Jason literally swings once and punches this guy's head off the building.
It's one of the only kills I remember.
Yeah, and there's so many other kills in this movie that are pretty memorable. One is I believe a chick gets a guitar.
Yeah. On the boat.
Yeah. Put through her. But I remember this being like one of the better Jason movies, and even better than I remember it being, because I really hated it as a kid. But on a rewatch, it did a little bit more for me.
As a kid, I always looked at it as Friday the 13th meets the Love Boat.
Oh.
Well, just because you never see these movies where it's like the killer's on a cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I don't know. As a kid, that's what you have a lot of your parents was watching is the Love Boat and whatnot. So my brain's just like, well, if Love Boat would go sour, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback off what Brian said. It's Jason on a boat, so whatever we're gonna do with this knife, I'm putting it down.
You're stabbing early.
It's putting it down.
I'm semi-impressed
I
by this.
fucking hate Jason Takes Manhattan.
So
it is I made a top 10 list of the original series before we did this.
I just want to say, this can come back, right?
I know
Okay.
that.
Oh, this
but
is gonna bite him in the ass so bad.
But it can't be on the list on the list at all. Is where I'm feeling.
Why don't you? Explain. I need you to tell me why you don't.
Because what is the movie called?
Jason Takes Manhattan.
This is Jason on a boat for 120, like an hour 20, and then he takes Manhattan.
No, it's actually a lot less than that.
What?
It has to be at least the last 40 minutes of the movie.
That he's in Manhattan?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Look it up, Timekeeper.
Let's see if there's some sort of record that will tell me.
Yes.
There, guarantee there is. How long is he in Manhattan? No, I think this movie just fails on its promise to bring Jason to Manhattan. It is him.
Oh, he does. He goes to Manhattan. He's there. The premise delivered.
But what does he do?
He kills people.
He walks down the street, and then all of a sudden they end up in a bunch of alleyways that they shot in Canada.
As opposed to like some alleyways in a camp?
No, I wish they would have gone full out. Like Jason is climbing. Like the climax should have ended on the Statue of Liberty or something like that.
He's in Times Square at the end of the movie.
But it does. It's a movie. It's a Friday the 13th movie as well, where it just needs to go to all these places. They had ideas for him to go to Madison Square Garden and all the other New York landmarks, and they
He
just
ends up in the sewer, right?
And that makes no sense.
That's a great,
No,
not a great, but it's a great for the series. That's a great scene in the series.
It makes no sense. Okay, first of all, the timeline in these movies makes no sense. First,
well, then you can't.
but
for the sake of the end though, in the sewer and everything like that, this was supposed to be the end.
every one of them after part 4 is supposed to be the end.
This was literally the end of the Paramount series, though. This was literally supposed to be the end.
No, he gets the ending where they throw the toxic waste on him and he turns back into a little boy, not deformed. That doesn't make any sense. No, this is not. So when I did my top 10, this is my second to last.
Out of 12?
Out of 10.
So okay.
Yeah. So before we had the idea to include the remake and Freddy vs.
I'm gonna
Jason.
be really honest
somewhere
with you.
on here.
I didn't expect this knife to get used at all tonight.
Really?
No.
I hate Jason Takes Manhattan.
Wow.
I don't want it on the
You
list.
hate it as a movie, or you hate it in the series? Like you don't like it. Period.
Both. I think there is.
So like you like the series, you love the series, but
Yeah.
this is like
This
you
is
won't watch
one
this
one of the two. I'm not going to say the other one that I think just throw them out.
Really?
We don't need them.
Wow.
Because for me, parts 6 and 7 are really strong, back to back, and then
you
one.
need to stop throwing your because he's still going to have his veto here.
I
So.
understand that.
I feel like really playing like a big wild card now, just to because you can't slash when
No.
play
I
now.
can't. I've used it because I hate Jason Takes.
But I also don't want to be. I also don't want to play like my absolute number one.
Too high.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm slashing Jason Takes Manhattan. I feel it fails on the promise of bringing Jason to Manhattan. It should have just been called Jason on a Boat. Terrible title. I understand why you use Jason Takes Manhattan, but that's mine. That's my
Oh man.
my
Casey,
choice.
I don't know
I'm
what to
sticking
do
to
now.
it. I'm sticking to
I
it.
don't know what to do because I feel like the ones that I have left are the ones that I feel the most strongly about, obviously, but I don't want them. I don't want like
I
absolute.
do want to say one positive about Jason Takes Manhattan. There's a fun scene where there's like guys on with the boombox.
Yeah.
Jason like kicks it and they're like, "Hey, fucker," or whatever, and he takes off the mask and scares them and then keeps walking.
That's
It's fun, but besides that, no.
man. I don't know what to do. Casey threw me through the loop immediately.
Did I ruin your entire?
Well, because now
I'd like to point something out to UKC.
Yes.
They get off of the boat at about 1 hour.
So less than half of the movie, he's in Manhattan.
No, so the movie is
An hour 40.
and he is in Manhattan for 40 minutes.
I'm saying that's less than half of the movie.
That's what I said.
I'm saying Blake was right though.
yeah,
Okay.
I called it on the spot. You should.
Okay,
take,
my exaggeration of the last 10 minutes. I understand.
you said 20 minutes, but
Okay.
Oh, and I'd like to point out how exactly I figured this out because I couldn't figure out quick how to be able to do it. It's on Prime Video, so I just pulled up the movie and just fast forwarded.
wow.
Oh, to where he gets off the boat.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, producer.
Still,
on
that's
that
less
one.
than half. Less than half. That's my argument.
I side with Blake. I'm just saying.
He should have been there in the first 20 minutes.
I can't believe you want me to play something
I'm
really
because I think the rest are more exciting than this.
all of them. Out of all of them, you think they're more exciting than 8?
If you lay one of them down that I'm thinking you might for some reason, I think it's more exciting than this.
All right.
So we're still at number 6.
All right, let's go for 6, part 2.
I know. I'm scared though.
I just don't know what to do, and I feel like the audience is gonna.
I didn't want to lay that down
wasting
too
time.
early. But I can't have Jason Takes Manhattan.
So I'm gonna have 3 more picks. Well, I have 3 cards left that I love. So I'm gonna lay down. With the 6th pick, I'm gonna go with the remake, the Friday the 13th remake, which I don't love. I don't think it's particularly great. I don't think it's even that good. But the hate that movie got when it came out.
I think it was unjustified.
Yeah, I think it was fine. It delivered on all the goods. It had a lot of great nudity. It had a lot of great kills. It had like some good scenes. Like it just it delivered on all the promises of a Friday. Actually, I think it's better than half the series. So I'm going with the remake at number 6.
I think this is a great spot for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a really good spot for it.
I would also like to point out that movie is already 10 years old.
Oh, I know.
One thing that I think really works well for this is that the first like act of this movie is the first three original Fridays put in one.
Yeah.
They do the Pamela Voorhees getting her head chopped off. They go to Jason. He has the sack head, and then by the time that little part ends, he has the hockey mask.
Is this one of the Michael Bay produced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's one of the better ones too.
I would say this in the first Texas Chainsaw from 03 are.
Do not like that movie at all.
All right.
Anyway,
we got to do a
TCM.
We got to do a TCM one.
Yeah.
But
that will. Yeah.
I think this is a fun one. Derek Mears is a scary Jason.
Yeah.
I think they take Jason back to the earlier movies where he's just a big hulking figure and he's just scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Derek Mears is a very good Jason.
Yeah,
I think this is a good spot.
I remember
for
like liking a lot of the kills and not being in love with the movie, obviously, but like I just remember like being like, this is better than people are saying. I don't know how it holds up. I've only seen it one time, but
yeah, I think that like I said, I think this is a good spot for it. I would have liked them to see where they would have gone, like continue.
Yeah, I'm guessing it didn't do well at the box office for them to make.
No, I think if Brian can pull it up, but I think it did pretty well. I think as soon as this came out, we're starting to run into the rights issue stuff.
Oh,
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been working. They want to do either a sequel or a remake or continuation of they want to do something with it, which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think
opening box office was 19 million. I mean,
that's
honestly, for
for 10 years ago, that's pretty good. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
No, I think it's one of the better remakes from that era.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, according to this quick Wikipedia, gets it at 25.
Yeah.
4.2 out of 10 for critics.
It's a slasher movie.
Yeah, I'm not
exactly. If you get above a 7 on a slasher movie,
I think a 6 actually.
This might be the scariest Jason too for me.
The movie or the actual Jason?
Jason. He's scary. He's big.
It.
He's hulking.
Yeah. Well, who played him?
Menacing. Derek Mears.
Derek Mears. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Casey.
All right. I'm scared. All right. I have 3 picks.
You only have
But
3.
you only get
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
The number 5 is where I'm at.
all right.
I'm trying to figure out what are Blake's 2 that he said he has left though.
Well, if you pick any of the 2 that I have left, I have to kind of like rethink.
go-
Jason Takes Manhattan is
I
still
have to
out there.
I have to rethink.
You gotta go find a new card.
I do.
Because I think I know what one of yours is, but I don't want to play it if you're gonna play.
I will say the 2 that I have left, I did not rewatch recently. I just know going back through memory that one of them I absolutely love.
Okay, so I know what one of them is.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
that helps me.
Okay.
You shouldn't have said that.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go with my first pick here, number 5. I'm gonna go with the original Friday the 13th, 1980.
Okay.
You're going with Mama Voorhees.
Mama Voorhees, Pamela Voorhees, one of the most underrated slasher villains out there.
Why do you say that?
Because for one, when you think of the Friday the 13th, it's Jason hockey mask,
Right.
right? So when you go back, at least for me, when I watched the first Friday the 13th, I didn't know it was Pamela. It was Jason.
When did you first see the first one? Like, how old were you?
How old was I?
Like
14,
14,
15?
okay.
Yeah, teenager.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this movie has one of the. For me, it's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to the kills. I think are really fun and inventive.
Okay.
The Tom Savini effects are really good.
Okay.
One of my favorites, obviously, Kevin Bacon, arrow through the neck.
Yeah.
Which I love how they did that effect.
Yeah, they made like a fake body.
They made a fake
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
and Bacon's head is on top of it. But when they actually did the scene, the pump that they had came unhinged from where it was supposed to shoot out. So one of the special effects assistants got on the tube and just started blowing into it, and so that's where it got the splurting effect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So movie magic right there.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I think the Pamela Voorhees reveal sort of works within the confines of the rest of the series, but as this movie stands, it is a bad whodunit. It's a really bad because she's not introduced until she shows up and reveals herself to be the killer.
Right.
There's the story of Jason, the kid who drowned in the lake, but she's never mentioned that the mom was the counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I was literally just gonna say I think the movie is very good at misdirection, but maybe it's not. But
It is because it doesn't set anything up.
right. That makes
because
sense.
I mean, if the first time you watch it, you probably think Crazy Ralph, the guy that rides the bike, is probably the killer.
So I saw Scream before I saw the first Friday. So,
Scream definitely ruined the original Friday for a lot of people.
So I knew going in. So for me, you have to go in with a different set of eyes. You have to be like, all right. So now that I know the twist, you watch how like the mechanics work, and I don't know. It's fine.
For me,
I don't think I'm gonna leave it.
You gonna leave it?
I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
I listen. I don't feel either way about this. I think it's fine. For the life of me, I cannot see how this one even got a sequel. Like I don't know how this is. Like it's
because it was made for $5 in a sandwich,
right? And they made $1 billion off of it the first weekend. But so I'm gonna leave it because I don't trust you near the top. So.
I feel it just has to be on the list somewhere.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this is that ending, the jump scare ending.
Yeah. Oh, it's an all-timer.
Yeah. Up there with Carrie.
Well, it rips off Carrie.
It definitely rips off Carrie. They're ripping off Halloween. Yeah. There's no...
The well's dry here.
Yeah. Sean Cunningham has said it a million times. Like, we didn't invent this, but we're trying to take different aspects of all these movies and make it.
I didn't... This did not make any of my cards. I didn't write this down, but I'm with you. It had to be here, and I figured you were gonna put it down, so I didn't write it down.
And it has Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's fine.
Everything's better.
What'd you say?
Kevin
Bacon's fine.
Kevin Bacon's fine.
It's like saying bacon itself is fine.
Yeah, that's why I just said everything's better with bacon.
Everything is better with bacon.
Crazy
let me
rephrase.
Kevin Bacon is fine.
You had the look on your face, like the definition of fine to you was he's fine.
He's fine.
He is fine.
He is fine. He's a good-looking guy.
He is. Yeah. All right, so that's number 5,
Jason,
the original Friday the 13th.
All right, I have technically 2 picks left.
You do. You have number 4 and number 2.
I have 2 cards in my hand.
2 cards there.
2 cards in my hand.
Well, he looks like he's shuffling them because he's not sure which one to pick.
I do know which one I'm going to pick because my number 1.
And I think I know one of them.
My number 1 is definitely. I'm saving that for as high as I can go.
I think I know what that one is. We'll see.
So we're at number 4, right?
You're at number 4.
Yep.
Okay. With number 4, I am going to pick Jason Goes to Hell. Because I just remember I don't think this is a good movie at all. But
it's god awful.
But it has some like really good set pieces and as far as for my memory goes, it has like a lot of great kills and a lot of great imagery. One is I believe a woman gets killed in a sleeping bag or a tent in this one. Is that this one?
Well,
no, that one is part 7.
But isn't there a scene where a woman
there's
gets
a sleeping bag kill in Jason X.
Yeah, there is one in Jason X.
That's on the holodeck.
I could have swore a woman.
You want to look?
I swore a woman. I swore a woman gets killed like getting thrown against a tree.
That happens in Jason X.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's part 7.
Man, I am really bad at this. But I know that there's a scene where a guy eats Jason's heart.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, the corner.
That scene is awesome. And then, and then of course there's the ending of this movie, which is incredible. Which
ending are you talking about?
I'm talking about the ending,
like
where
it sets up for something.
Where Freddy Krueger's glove comes out of the ground and pulls Jason's mask into hell, which is the title of the movie, obviously. When Casey might not, I don't know what Casey's childhood was like with movies and friends, but when Brian and I, or us older dudes, were in school, you would have the kids who like could see the movies that you couldn't, and they'd be like, "Oh my god!" And at the end, Freddy Krueger's glove, and then you'd be like, "Oh my god, no way!" And that was like this for me. Like
that was definitely for me because I'm a huge fan of the Nightmare franchise.
I remember hearing this and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I've never seen any of these movies, but this sounds incredible." And so for number 4, I'm going with Jason Goes to Hell.
There is a
try and slash that one.
7. Okay. So when I did lay the knife down on Jason Takes Manhattan, and I mentioned that there is a more inspired choice. This is it.
So this is really high for you.
No, this is the worst on my list. But I think it is more inspired than Jason Takes Manhattan.
So you slashed the wrong movie. You made
No. I think I made the right choice.
You think this?
I would rather have Jason Goes to Hell than Jason Takes Manhattan on this list.
Okay.
Because
which could still show up on this list.
It could. I'm scared. But I think I know what your other one is.
I think you do too.
I think so. But I think this is a terrible movie. It's my least favorite of all the Friday movies. Because it's
Including
not
Ice Cube.
What? Including what?
Including Ice Cube.
Yeah. This is my, like I said, the least favorite because it's not a Friday movie. It is something completely different. Jason's not in the movie. He's like possessing bodies, right?
Dude, I've not seen this movie since like 2005.
Yeah, he's like this
is why I'm not
like Worm Jason is possessing bodies.
Yeah, that cover art rules though.
It is. It's fun, and it like you said with like the Freddy Krueger's glove. There's also the Kandarian dagger and the Necronomicon from Evil Dead are both in this movie too.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is
because they've gone on record with this movie claiming that Jason Voorhees is
a Deadite.
Oh,
which
interesting.
That's why I like this on here because it makes the canon of the Evil Dead movies fit within Friday and Nightmare on Elm Street. Which, if you haven't read Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, which is a great run.
I haven't. Oh,
the comic book?
I have not read that, but I did listen to a podcast where they go through scripts that didn't get made, and they talk about Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash.
Yes.
And it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen, but...
I have the comics.
It's really cool.
I'll let you borrow.
I think if I remember correctly, the comics were a result of the fact that the movie never got made.
Yes,
oh, okay.
That is.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I think that's fun that you had those little Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the ending is one of the best in the Friday movies just because I am a huge Freddy Krueger fan.
Yeah.
And them setting up Freddy vs. Jason is perfect until we didn't get the movie till a decade later.
Yeah, it was that long, wasn't it?
Yeah. Kane Hodder, fun fact, is the only person to ever technically play Jason and Freddy. Because he is Freddy's glove.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to count stuff like that because, like, oh, he played him, but it's like, did he play him?
I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. It's fun, yeah.
So what number was that? Number 4?
Yeah.
That was number 4.
I don't like it, but I respect it. Does that make sense? I'm scared to know what his next one is.
I'm sorry you feel that.
Well, he's going to be scared if you're number 3.
I'm scared if it's number 1, honestly.
I would be because... too. But just think, though. You gave it to him.
I know I did.
Because you thought, I need to respect the man.
Well, I am on that plane, yes.
We're more than halfway done.
Yeah.
We have 3 picks left on the board.
Yeah.
I have 4 in my hand that I think have to be on this list.
Really?
Well, that's
yes.
not gonna happen.
So it's not going to happen. So I got to try to think of what his is so I can try to fit my other 2.
I'm adamant that mine should be on the list because I do think it's the best of them all.
That's why I think I know what his is.
But I'm worried that you won't play at number 1. But it's my number 1. So I'm debating whether I want to do something different because I trust you to play it at number 1, but I don't know if I trust you enough. So I feel like I need to get it at number 2.
I trust you, but I don't trust you.
Well,
if the movie is what I'm thinking it is, I'm fine with it at number 2. It can't be number 1.
It can't be number 1.
For if it is,
he doesn't have a choice to be number 1. Why are you arguing about it?
Because
technically he does possibly if he would to lay something else for his number 2, stab my number 1, and then I would have to play.
But that's if it's the same movie we're thinking of.
I think it is. Okay.
So Casey, number 3.
Number 3. So
keep you on track.
I think it's fun to banter what we're trying to think here.
Because I love this one, my last pick. And I really think it should be number 1.
Okay. I don't think it. God, this is hard because there's one I feel like I need to play, but it's not a great Friday movie, which is why I don't think it's gonna go on the list, unfortunately. So my choice at number 3, I'm gonna go with a movie I have brought up before, at least on Backlot 605. Part 4, the final chapter.
Okay.
The Corey Feldman led movie. I think for me, this is the best group of teenagers.
Okay.
And characters besides Jason. Because Tommy Jarvis is a really strong character.
Okay.
Based on A Young Life with Tom Savini.
Yeah.
And then I think it has probably my favorite teenage character, Crispin Glover.
Okay.
Because
is this the dance he does?
The dance is amazing.
Yeah.
The dance alone should be our number one thing.
And what
might be the greatest moment.
It's something tells me that was all him too.
Well,
if anybody knows his history,
him now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the interesting, and the dance wouldn't work if it wasn't why he does the dance. That's what sets the whole thing up. Like if they just cut to him dancing, it's kind of like, well, what is this? But it's the reason why he is dancing is why it's so.
The build up of an actual character in these movies.
Yeah,
that's
wow.
crazy. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I talked about it. I did a list of horror sequels that are better than the original. This was my 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah, it is. It's the first Friday movie where I think it is better than the original. So that's why I put it there. The kills are a lot of fun. Jason is scary in this. The reason was on that list and I want it on this list is because the characters are great.
This is the fourth one?
Yes. Corey Feldman, Tommy... Please.
Yeah, I did enjoy this one actually.
It has my favorite Jason death.
Is this the wheelchair death in this one?
No, that is 2. That is 2.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The wheelchair death.
The wheelchair death is one of the best.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother list.
So
what's
the death in this one that's your favorite?
That's it's my favorite Jason death where Jason dies.
Oh, okay.
It's Jason's head is going through the machete and just slides slowly down it.
Yes, that is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Tommy stabs just hacks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And so I think eventually we'll probably do a Halloween one, but this reminds me of the absolute ending of this movie where it zooms in on Corey Feldman and he has the dark eyes, he's going to be the next killer.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing in Halloween Part 4 and completely throw it away. They do the same thing with Final Chapter. They completely throw away that Tommy's going to be the killer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great ending for something that they never capitalize on. But it has to be on this list.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it because I do remember liking it a lot. This is number 3 we're at.
Yes.
Yeah. I do like this one. I'm not gonna slash this one.
No, you're gonna keep it.
I'm gonna keep it.
Keep it for the Crispin Glover dance.
I'm gonna keep it. Yeah.
You always gotta keep it for the Crispin
Yeah,
Glover dance.
and also the third act of this is actually it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think this is the one where they're going back between 2 or 3 houses.
Yeah, because there is the Jarvis house and then there's the party with the teenagers.
Yeah. No, okay, so interestingly enough, does Crispin Glover die in this movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember the death. Something must have happened.
He's in the kitchen. I don't remember what Jason does to him, but it's dark and he's in the kitchen. That's all I remember from it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's our number 3, the final chapter,
number
part
3.
4.
All right. I don't trust you, so
I think I know what
I'm gonna play my favorite Jason movie. This isn't even close for me. This is.
I'd like to point one thing out though. You said you don't trust him.
I don't. Right?
You're the only one who has an active veto.
I know, but
so
the thing is,
you could almost go anywhere you want.
The thing is I don't if he.
I could do it. I could spite him and throw something else in at number 1.
I'm worried that he is going to play
because he put Jason Goes to Hell on this list.
Well, you also vetoed Takes Manhattan, but I wonder if I veto whatever he plays if it's not what I like and play something else that is worse than what he played previously. So I'm just gonna play my number 1 because I don't trust Casey.
This is technically your number 1 spot.
This is mine. I guess this is my number 1 spot. It should be number 1 because I think it's far and away the best Jason movie.
What if it is my number 1 though, and you play it at number 2? Head games.
Yeah, I don't.
Stop fucking with it.
I'm trying to think because I know what your favorites are of this series, and I don't think they've been... Well, yeah, the final chapter's been played. The thing is I don't really think... The other ones that I would play, I don't think are as good as this one. and I don't want them this high, and so I think I'm fine with this being at number 2.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play Freddy versus Jason, which I think is far and away, not only that, I think it's one of the better Freddy movies as well. I think it's one of the better horror movies that came out of that decade as well. Like, it's got a lot of great kills. The way they get both Freddy and Jason in the universe is whatever. Like, it's fine, but the way, like, when they finally meet up at the end and if they finally fight, like, it is like it's really good. Like, the beat downs that they give each other and the wink at the end. I wish they had made more. I think, is it Ronnie Yoon that directed it?
Yes.
He did a great job with it. I think John Ritter's son, is it Jason Ritter?
Mm-hmm.
He's really good in
Yeah.
it. The girl who looks like Lily Sobieski, I forget her name. She's in also Ginger Snaps as well. She's really good. And then
We had a Destiny's Child in there too.
oh yeah, is it Kelly Rowland?
Kelly Rowland.
She gets fucked up in that, and
Yes,
that's
she
really
does.
good. Is it Monica Keener? What's her name?
No, what? It's Monica. It is Monica.
Yeah,
Monica Keena.
she's really good. She could have been
She's a really good final girl.
Yes. And then her best friend, I can't remember her name. She's also really good too. And I just think, like, this is the best set of teens in the entire series. It's got some really good death scenes, and I mean, I don't particularly love that they made Jason like the good guy out of the two, but you kind of have to have someone to root
have to
for.
have one,
And
yeah.
Freddy kind of is like this gigantic asshole. So
He killed children.
yeah, didn't he molest him?
No.
Not until the remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, so it made sense to make him the bad guy. And I saw this in theaters. This is the only one out of all the movies I've seen in the theaters, and it's I think it's by far the best one of the
You didn't even
series.
get to see the remake in the theater?
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
Because I would say this one and the remake is what I got to see in the
Oh,
theater.
okay.
Because
Yeah.
they were scary back when we were kids.
Yeah. And looking back on them, they're not scary.
No.
So yeah, number 2, I'm putting Freddy versus Jason down.
I am so glad you put this on here because it would have been left off the list otherwise.
And that's why.
And which sucks, and I'll give my reasoning because I agree with you. This is the best out of the entire Friday the 13th franchise. It's the best movie.
So I'm really upset that you agree with me, but you wouldn't have played it.
I wouldn't have played it because it's not a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
It's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah.
With Jason in it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is, isn't it?
It is straight up a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It would play pretty high on my nightmare list, but that's why it wouldn't fit on a Friday list if I.
See, I told you I did not trust this guy.
So if I had the 7 and 6, this would probably be my one of those.
I thought about playing it high,
Yeah.
just to get it on there.
No,
but
I'm glad
I-
you played it at number 2.
But oh man, I wish I'd taken 5, 3, and 1 now.
No, yeah, I think
'Cause
we would have a very different list if you would have gone.
So
that way.
if I hadn't played Manhattan, would you have vetoed this at number 1? If you had a slash left, and I played this at number 1, would you have slashed this off the number 1?
No, I would have left it.
Okay.
Because I understand the reasoning. It is
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
The brawl at the end is perfect. It's a straight up WWE fight between Freddy and Jason.
I was gonna bring up The Rock and Sock Connection or something. So yeah, I kind of feel bad playing it this high now, but I love it so much. Like it, I think it's.
I love the ending when you have Jason coming out of the lake.
Yeah, and the wink.
Well,
Yeah.
He's got Freddy's head
Yeah.
just in his hands.
It doesn't give you a definitive winner, which I think works.
Right, which is why I really wanted a sequel. And you know more about it than I do. I don't know. Is it a rights thing? Why they did? Because it made good money, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
This thing has been in lawsuit hell for. They've only just come to some sort of settlement because the original writer or whatever from way back in 1980 was pissed off because he wasn't getting royalties or something like that.
Which he should, I
Yeah.
would assume. So
That's why it killed my game.
So there is a couple concepts for the sequel to this. One is the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, which we
Right.
got in comic book
Right,
form.
right.
There's also a version where they get sent to hell.
I don't like where you're going with this because you're gonna bring up Pinhead, right?
Which is the Pinhead
I don't know if
version.
I like that.
I like absolutely. Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash would have been the way to go.
Right.
Because it gives you an actual hero to fight these two.
Right. And then you obviously have Sam Raimi direct it.
I would hope. I don't know what they were going with. Raimi would have been involved in some capacity.
Or you have someone direct the first half, and then when the fights come in, when it gets zany, you bring in Raimi.
Yeah.
Zany Raimi. That's
Zany
what you
Raimi.
do. So
I'm rolling my eyes right now.
So my question to you is, if we do a Nightmare on Elm Street countdown, can this be played?
Yes, because it's Freddy.
I would say,
as the producer, I say yes.
Yeah, I would say even more than it would be on here.
Yeah,
that this would have to be.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to double dip too much. That's
no. I think there's different ways you can go about it.
I never thought of that like that.
That
it's a Freddy
I'm
movie
excited
with
to do a Nightmare on Elm Street because that's my series. Like that's my go-to.
I have a definitive number one for that.
Ooh.
That I would probably slash you to death with if I didn't get it.
All right, so for the next episode,
I think we might have to do that next.
Oh, we'll see. Well, then I have to rewatch that, and I don't have access to all that.
Yes, you do.
I have them all.
You have them all.
Yeah.
So do I.
Blu-ray or DVD?
DVD.
Oh, I ride hard for Blu-ray.
Yeah. Anyway, Freddy vs. Jason, number 2. I like that pick. I think like you said, it's the best of the Friday franchise.
Man. I'm really curious where you go with this because I have another one that I think is a lot of fun, but I think it's...
This is not what I thought you were going to play either.
Really?
No.
So are you going to play what I...
No.
So okay. Well, then play what you're going to play, and then I want to hear what you think I was going to play.
Yeah. But you still have that. You still have that knife sitting there.
I do, but I also don't know this. I also don't know the series enough. Well, maybe I do. I have another one that I really, really enjoyed a lot. That I still think it's garbage, but it's like one that I really liked, and I want to see if you're gonna play it now.
Okay. Yeah, because this it adds a nice wrinkle having Freddy vs. Jason on here, because I didn't think it was gonna make the list. After,
you didn't think it was
after we got past number after you laid Jason Goes to Hell, I'm like, okay, Freddy vs. Jason's not gonna make it, which I accepted. But now that it's here, I like it. But I'm going to go with my number 1 here. My definitive as a Friday the 13th movie, number 1.
So this is not... So you're getting your number 1 as the number 1.
My number 1 Friday the 13th movie, yes, will be the number 1.
Will it, though?
I hope so.
Okay.
God, I hope so, because it has to be.
I think I know what you're...
Jason Lives, Part 6, is the best Friday the 13th movie.
I thought you... Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and explain.
Tommy Jarvis is straight up the hero that we need in these movies that we never got until Part 4. Part 5 takes the very big misstep of not having Jason in it and doing a weird, like, foster home thing and having Jason not be the killer.
It's very bizarre.
It is a very weird movie.
It's almost like it's almost like a Halloween 3. Where they, it's like Halloween 3 where they take the name, but it's like they just put a different story in there.
Yeah, where Michael isn't in Part 3, Jason's not really in Part 6 besides some flashbacks.
Yeah.
And dream sequences, but but anyway, Part 6 is where it turns right back around. This is before Scream, but it's also very meta.
Yeah.
This has my favorite opening of any Friday movie. Is when they're digging up the grave, so Tommy can make sure Jason is dead, and he stabs the stake through it, and the lightning bolt hits it.
Is this the one where they can't light the lighter?
In which part?
The beginning. There's one where they can't. The lighter's not working. They're trying to get the lighter to work to burn the.
Oh, Jason?
Yeah.
And then he stabs him with the big pole.
Yeah. Okay.
Through the chest.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Frankenstein Jason.
Yeah.
And then we get his James Bond opening too, which I love. I fucking love that. Where he does the walk and then slashes through the screen and we get the title card.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my favorite Friday the 13th movie. Has one thing that no other Friday movie has before or after. Kids at the camp. At a summer camp.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the only one that has kids at an actual summer camp. Which I think adds to Jason being scary. There's a scene where a girl is like trying to hide under the covers, and she sees Jason walking through the window. Great scene.
Yeah.
And he walks into the building, stands over top of her. She hides under the covers. Like that just reminds you of what you are at. Like if you were at that age, you would do the exact same thing. Covers are your safety zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I think it adds a great main character, Tommy Jarvis, and then adds stakes with having kids at the camp.
Yeah, I just feel
It
like
feels like a straight up Universal movie from the 30s.
I disagree with that, but
Now I'm scared he's gonna veto it.
no,
or
I don't
slash
know. The thing is I'm trying to think back to the series, which other ones there are. So we still have 2 and 3. So, yeah, I remember liking this one, a lot as well. And you're right, that scene where I believe it's like 2 camp counselors are with those kids, and I think they both get fucked up too, is really good. And the one of them, I think, is like she gets killed first, but she's like in the house in another house by herself, and Jason's like stalking her in this house, and it's really good. I want to veto this, or I want to slash this because I just
Are you more curious of what I would put next?
exactly
Yeah.
exactly, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Because
I do have another one that I could play.
I trust.
I'll let you know.
So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna slash this. This can stay, but I obviously am very curious to hear what your other one would be if
you did.
if it did, and I also want to hear what you thought my number one was
Okay.
going to be. So I like this pick. I think it's good. It's way better than 7, which is really bad, I think.
Which you put on the list.
Did I put 7?
Yeah, that was
That was
our
first
number
one.
7.
I thought I put.
I'm writing
Oh
them
my
down.
god! See, this is why I am bad for this list because I don't remember any of these
You
movies.
should appropriate.
Is number 7 the one where he attacks this couple in the car and then like the sheriff there's a sheriff and his daughter is like dating some bad dude or
No, that's this
one.
That's this one.
Okay, yeah, I like this one a lot. Okay. Oh my god, I apologize to the listeners because I got all
This one
messed
also
up.
has the Alice Cooper original songs in it.
I don't know any of those, so
It's a fun movie.
yeah, I'm gonna keep this.
One of my favorite kills in this is during a paintball scene in the middle of the movie.
That's
And
at the
they're-
beginning of the movie.
Is it towards the beginning?
Yeah, I think so.
He shows up, and it's more tactical Jason in this one. And there's the smiley face, like after he throws the guy into the tree, and it leaves this bloody smiley face on it.
Also, this is the one where he bends the guy backwards and snaps his back in half. The sheriff?
The sheriff, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's running after, he's making sure his daughter gets away safe, and she's like, "Daddy, Daddy!" And Jason just snaps the guy in half backwards and is like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, he just messed up this girl's dad big time." Yeah, I like this pick.
Locking it in.
I'm not gonna slash this.
That's the number 1.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So we can let's go through the
Let's-
list of
let's-
what we have.
Brian, can you read up the list what we
I
have?
can go. All right. So, number 7, we have Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Solid spot.
Number 6, we have basically Friday the 13th, Part 12, a.k.a. the remake. The 2009 remake. Coming in number 5, we have Friday the 13th, 1980, original. We have, at number 4, we have Friday the 13th, a.k.a. Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell.
Casey is
Casey's
grimacing
good.
big time. Casey is pissed.
All right, and at number 3, we have Friday the 13th, Part 4, The Final Chapter. At number 2, we have a.k.a. Part 11, Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
at number 1, we have Part 6 with Jason Lives.
Jason Lives,
Jason
number 1.
Lives.
All right.
Number 1. All right.
So the one I thought you were going to play at number 2 is Jason X.
I hate that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
How
that's
do you hate
there.
Jason?
I think it is. You either love it or you hate it.
It kind of it feels like I can if a bad series, and no offense to you, Casey,
It's a bad series.
If a bad series is gonna keep doing the same thing, like I'm kind of okay with it, but like to go like But if they want to change, that's cool. But like that is a drastic change to go to space, and then he's got like this mecha.
Mecha Jason.
Yeah, and there's two things I love about Jason X. One, David Cronenberg is in it, who is one of the greatest horror directors of all time. And then two, that chick gets her face beat off or smashed after being frozen.
Yes.
Yeah.
That might be my favorite kill.
There is nothing else.
No, I will tell you exactly what my favorite kill is because I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's what makes me love that movie so much. Is the holodeck. So they're trying to get away from Jason. They turn on the holodeck, and all of a sudden he's back at Crystal Lake, and he immediately sees two female co-eds topless that say something to the lines of that. The reason why he needs to come with them is because
come have premarital sex with us.
They're like, we've got weed and we want sex, and then it cuts to them because they're trying to see if Jason's following them. Yeah. And the next thing you see is said co-eds are in sleeping bag and he's throwing them against the tree.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the second time they used the sleeping bag against the tree kill.
And ever since just that one bit in space where they try to trick him into being a Crystal Lake, I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
That between that and the frozen face kill.
So you thought I was gonna play Jason X?
Yeah, I thought that could have been up there.
It would be for me if I was putting this list together. That is one of my guilty pleasures.
The only like horror franchise that went to space and succeeded, in my opinion, was the Hellraiser series. I think.
What, not the Leprechaun?
No, I do like that as a bad movie. Like I enjoy like how bad that movie is, but no, it's Hellraiser.
Yeah, I think. Well, the reason we got Jason X, where it's said a couple hundred years in the future, is because of this movie, Freddy vs. Jason.
Okay.
Because they didn't want to infringe on where the timeline was going to take place.
I thought this came out first.
No, this one came out
I meant that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one came out first. So Jason X came out first.
Yeah, because they were trying to make Freddy vs. Jason, so like, shit, we just need to make a Jason movie.
Right.
So we're going to set it way in the future.
And New Line made that one.
Yes.
New Line's made everything since Jason goes to
hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's why none of them have the Friday the 13th.
So, it's probably a good thing you didn't veto my part 6 then. Because you would have played Jason X. I would have played Jason X.
I can't believe you wouldn't have played Freddy vs. Jason.
On this list at all?
Yeah, or like Jason X over Freddy vs. Jason. Like, did you have this written down at all? Mm-hmm. You threw it away.
No. It was in the stack until you laid it down.
So if I had vetoed Jason Part 6, I would have gotten Jason X.
Where this list stands right now, yes.
If I had played, let's say 6 or I really like 3 for some reason. I don't know why.
It's bad.
If I had played 3 and not this, and this would have and Jason Freddy vs. Jason would have stayed in my throwaways, my discards, you would not have even considered this.
If it was down to
If it was down to Part 6 and I vetoed it, and you would have played Jason X over Freddy vs. Jason.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because this is a Friday the 13th list.
I am so glad I didn't trust you.
Yeah.
Because I legit, when we were talking about this, and I said I have a definitive number 1, and you're like, I think I know what it is, and I thought I knew what yours was. I thought it was Freddy vs. Jason. Okay. I thought we agreed on, like mentally, like telepathically agreed that this is the best one.
I think I made my point clear that I feel it's more of a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
I'm saying pre all this. Like I thought that I was like, oh, he's got to think this has got to be number 1. Like I was convinced.
Yeah, in a way, it is my number 1, but it.
Man, I'm so glad.
It's the best movie.
I would have been.
Well, how mad would you have been if I laid down Jason X?
I would have been really upset. I've been very upset because it's a terrible movie.
It is. All of them are.
Yeah, but like this just feels like a cash grab. I mean, I know they all are, but like this one feels like some producer is like he needs money and he's like I'm gonna make a Jason movie and then I'm gonna make some money back. That's how bad this is.
Yeah, that's how all of them are.
Yeah. Man. I am like shocked you wouldn't have picked Jason.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
I as I said when we talked about it, I feel it's more of a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
No, I understand that now.
So that's where I'm curious is where we would go on a Nightmare countdown.
I have a definitive number 1, and this is not it.
Spoilers.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Playing your card early already.
No, because you don't know which one it is. There's 20 other Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
There's only like 8 more.
Yeah.
Less than that. 7 more. Anyway, so I think that's a good list. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, can we go through the list one more time, Brian?
Damn it!
Sorry.
I'm going through my Amazon Prime trying to add these all because all my DVDs are packed up.
One more time for the audience because I want to.
I'm gonna point out the one I do not like. And,
I'm gonna watch him cringe as I do
Jason
this
Goes
again.
to Hell.
All right, at number 7, we have Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. At 6, we have Friday the 13th, Part 12, aka the remake. At number 5, we have Friday the 13th, the original, 1980. At number 4, we have Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell.
not even Part 9. It's just Jason Goes to Hell. Fuck.
This list went to hell with that thing.
Number 3, we have Part 4, The Final Chapter. At number 2, we have Friday the 13th, Part 11. I like just fucking with this here. Freddy vs. Jason. And at number 1, we have Part 6 with Jason Lives.
So how do you feel about this list, Casey?
You watched him cringe.
Yeah.
I think if we took Jason Goes to Hell off,
We can't. It's definitive list.
if you did, and put like Part 3 is another one you said you liked. If
Yeah.
you would have put that there, I would have
Yeah.
been okay.
Okay.
A little more with this list.
Yeah. I honestly thought you liked that one a lot.
Which one?
Goes to Hell.
No, it's bad.
Okay.
It's terrible. I think looking at our top 3, that is my top 3. Freddy vs. Jason, Part 4 and Part 6 are in the 3.
Yeah, I know I talked a lot about how they bled together, but as we're dissecting these movies and talking about certain scenes and kills, I definitely think that's a good top 3. I'm pretty fine with this list, honestly. Like, yeah, maybe I do regret a little bit putting Jason Goes to Hell on there, but I just remember being young watching it and being like, oh my god, he's messing people up in this, but I also don't know a lot of the lore that goes into this either, and maybe that played a trick on me.
No, it's bad. And they introduce a sister to Jason.
Oh, what's her name?
I don't fucking remember. She
Yeah.
doesn't show up after that. Yeah, so that's the list. Friday the 13th.
That's the definitive list.
The definitive top
the
7.
top 7 Friday the 13th movies.
Oh,
Oof.
I'm not excited about it. I think we need. I'm okay with it. I will accept it. Like I said, I think Jason Goes to Hell is better than Jason Takes Manhattan to be on this list.
You know what? Looking back, I should have played that at number 4 or wherever I played Goes to Hell at.
Just to piss me off.
Damn it.
All right. I don't think we have anything else planned for this. I think
I think this is a good first episode.
Yeah.
A good first trial episode.
Yeah. Fun little game. It was full of suspense, at least for us.
Yeah.
I think we had a pretty good list. So.
Yeah. I really hope we find some horror aficionados in this area who have some, some...
So if you are one of those horror
Yeah.
aficionados, please reach out to us. I'm going to plug all of our stuff here at Backlot 605. So I hope you all enjoyed this first episode. Kind of a trial run.
Yeah.
Trying it out for size, see how it goes. We'll
Yeah.
probably change it up a little bit, tweak it here and there for what we need.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get into some stuff that I feel very emotionally invested in.
Yeah, I'm excited because I think we're going to have different opinions on
I think so,
on
too.
where we go
Yeah.
forward. I don't know what we're going to do next. When we do, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tonight, so
Yeah.
this is really good.
Yeah, it was a good time. So let's plug all of our stuff. You can find this podcast right here, The Killer Countdown, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, YouTube, all our usual spots for the Backlot podcast. You can also check out all our stuff on backlot605.com. We'll definitely post this there. We have a bunch of other horror stuff on there. I think that is kind of our go-to genre, at least for half of us.
Yeah.
Except Brian.
Which is okay.
As he gives me a glare.
Yeah, Brian really glared on that one.
Yeah, he gave me a glare. What else do I got to plug? We got to plug our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And as Blake mentioned, if you are a horror aficionado in this area, please reach out to us.
Yes, we might want you on the show at some point.
If you have something you are very passionate about, whether that be the Leprechaun franchise or a certain director you want to talk about,
or Dario Argento or Cronenberg or anything, like a vampire, whatever. Like
we're gonna jump into a lot of things.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to explore here, and
Yeah, if you are, please just reach out to us on social media or shoot us an email at backlot605@gmail.com. There are many ways to reach us, and we want to hear what you want to bring onto the show.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, we have nothing planned for next time. We'll figure that out here. But yeah, this has been the Killer Countdown. Brian, thank you for being our moderator, keeping me from throwing a punch at Jason Goes to Hell.
Well, you are the millennial, and you will fight
We will
anyone.
fight.
Yeah.
Goddamn millennials.
Blake, this has been a lot of fun. We are gonna figure out what we want to do next.
Yes, this was. This is more.
I would like to point something. I have an idea here for you for your next one here, right? So you got 5-3-1, and he got the 4, right? Whatever your next one is, you're flipping it.
I think
you don't
I want to.
You don't have a choice.
I think I want to do that.
Really?
Yep.
So next one, you
Every
get,
other
you
episode.
get 5-3-1.
Interesting.
Yep, I think it'd be fun to do
So
it.
we're not picking. That's just
So that almost forces you to
Yes, you gotta get
kind of
creative.
play the list.
because you know what you're going to be doing.
You know, I don't love the idea, but I kind of love the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you think about it, but
Yeah.
then there is that knife out there.
Yeah.
Well,
That slash.
see, I even thought of it, even adding one to it. So you used your veto. He did not. He can go. What if he goes into the next round?
Oh, we thought about that. We're not going to carry him
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
It's one and done.
It's one and done. Yep. So
Think of how vicious you can
Yeah,
get.
but think of how many times if he doesn't veto, he could have the entire list to himself.
yeah, we got to figure something out for not using a veto though, like some sort of something special, you know, because like I feel like I did you a very big service with
You
this.
did.
Yeah.
I
got
maybe
nothing out
that'll
of it.
play into future episodes.
Okay.
I think that
This
might.
is another kink we need to work out.
Yeah,
But
we'll
get
definitely
there.
do
That's
it.
when you edit out of the podcast, though.
No, I like it. I want to leave it in there because I do want to hear everybody's comments about this. What do you
Yeah.
think we can change, mix up, make this better?
Yeah.
Because we do want to make it better. That's our
Yeah.
overall goal. So,
Yep.
yeah, until next time, Blake, this has been the Killer Countdown.
I got it.
Thank you all for listening. I don't have a fancy catchphrase for
Neither
this.
do I.
So,
Thank you for listening.
bye.